Hello and welcome to the corner of my flat where I film YouTube videos. Today we're going to be talking about goal setting that actually works. This is something that I have spent many years on, and I help others with this type of thing. It's an important part of any kind of system to become more effective in executing in what you do, because you need to set goals to aspire to something, to have something to move towards. So firstly, let's start with when does it not work. I'm going to talk about when it does work. I'm going to give you a bit of a system around how I approach it, and then I'm going to show you my actual system. There's a piece of software that I use which I really enjoy and think works well when trying to organize your goals into a good system that is actually going to help you achieve those goals and achieve more in life in general. So let's dig into it. If you like this kind of content, please do subscribe, by the way. This makes me so happy in my little corner of my flat when I see somebody has subscribed to my channel. So please do hit that subscribe button right now. So when does it not work? It doesn't work when it's written on a piece of paper at a New Year's Eve party and you leave that piece of paper in the drawer. It doesn't work when they're boring as hell or totally unrealistic. There's a lot of things that matter about making a good goal. We're going to cover those with a really nice, simple system for you now. The simple system that you can use to structure your goals is SMART. So there's SMART goals, which maybe you've heard of at school. So that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. These are the classics. So all of these are very important. Specific is making it specific. It's kind of self-explanatory. Measurable as well. So this is some kind of numbers involved is normally a really good idea. Achievable just makes it actually, you know, if you said to me today that you're going to become Elon Musk rich within a year, well, that's just not going to happen, to be frank. So this becomes completely unemotive. It doesn't bring any emotion out of you because there's nowhere to go with that. Relevant, so obviously if I suddenly said I wanted to be a ballerina dancer, then maybe that's disconnected to the reality that I live within. Time-based, of course, making it specific to a time period. I'm about to go over the structure that I use in breaking these up, which kind of makes that automatically happen. And then there is two more which I have added. That is emotive. So emotive means give some fucking emotion, you know, like if I don't feel something when I read a goal, well then why am I going to care about achieving it? So I think emotive is a very important part of this system. So say for example, me saying I'm going to lose a little bit of weight in this quarter ahead. Instead it could be I'm going to get a fucking six-pack and I'm going to look like a god on that beach. That is a goal that I can care about, you know? That's a goal that gets me fucking pumped at the thought of achieving that goal. Whether it's going to happen or not for me, I don't know. And then reviewed. Reviewed is so important, and I actually honestly think is the most missed one out of the entire batch. Reviewing your goals consistently in a smart way is just not done in the modern world. Sometimes people will have it as a list which they look at, maybe they put it on their fridge maybe or something like that. But most of the time, this is very often barely looked at all after that first week. I have a reminder every single morning to look at my goals, but there's levels that you want to look at. So say, for example, within my team, we don't want to be looking at year goals every single week because it's just too much time spent on it. But looking at week goals every week makes sense. And there's months and quarter goals within that. So the cadence at which you look at and review your goals is very important and should be considered. So this gives you the kind of SMART framework, which I like a lot. So that's a great starting point. Use this as the baseline for any goal that you consider. The language really does matter when you're writing each of your goals. So really pause and think about how you've written it. And then you want to split that up into 4 groups. So I like to have week, month, quarter, and year goals. I do this on the calendar basis, so then it fits nicely in with the year as well, obviously. And this is a really clean way to be able to organize your week so that you're disciplined and focused on very specific week goals that then funnel into month goals, which are slightly larger projects, which you can get away with, into quarterly goals, which are big kind of movement goals that you really want to be shifting things within. And then the year goals are massive aspirational things that you're able to achieve. So this is how I like to break it down. And it's really important to connect all 4 of those together. I want to iterate that again. You want to be able to move through these goals and see how the years go to the quarter, go to the month, go to the week. So the week ones should be focused on how am I going to get to my month goal, and month to quarter, quarter to year. And you want to focus more on habits. Lots of the other big names who talk about this topic focus on habits rather than the result that you get out of it. But ultimately, I just think that the habit goals can sound a little bit less aspirational. And so you can use more of the kind of Google OKR approach of objective key result. So you still get to make it, very specific and measurable, but also you get that kind of emotive side to it. And then now let me switch to a screen share, and I'm going to literally show you the system that I use for tracking my goals year on year. So here we go. This is the system that I use. It's a piece of software called Foresight. And what this does for you is it gives you this goals page. So this is up in the clouds. So this is below an entire system where you can manage your tasks for the week and all sorts of good stuff. But I'm not going into that today. So what you can do is set week, month, quarter, year. Shows year, quarter, month, week. There is going to be iterations of this which are going to be hiding certain levels of this as each time you come in, so that it focuses you on different levels at a larger cadence. So say you should be looking at the week goals more often, month goals a little bit more, and quarterly a bit less, and years just every once a month maybe is a good amount of cadence to be registering them. And then you can see how these connect to each other. So obviously I'm going to become a billionaire by a year. Maybe that's unrealistic, but who are you to judge my capabilities? And then quarterly fits that nicely. I need to be a multi-millionaire before I can be a billionaire. Millionaire to 10K in the bank. Let's say I want to tame a lion by the end of the year. Well, maybe I should tame a squirrel before that. And maybe I should just get a pet cat to get used to animals first. And maybe the first week I should just read a book about animals, etc. So you can see how they connect into each other. This system also means that every time you log into the account, it shows you your goals first. So that kind of automatically forces you to check your goals and consider them before you move into actually executing on your week. You can also register them, so get a 10K in the bank, partial, complete, etc. This is also automatically time-based if you think about it, because this is week, month, quarter, year. So this is this week, I could go to next week, and I could set whatever I wanted to set in there. So this automatically does so many things for you, and it solves so many of those problems of people just not considering their goals on the time basis, or just not checking them regularly, which I think is honestly one of the most regular that I see going wrong. So this is the system I love to use. This has been me talking about goals for about 5-10 minutes. I hope it was useful, and if it was, please do subscribe.
Well, I like this one.
There's lots of other videos similar to this type of topic. I also talk about paid advertising quite a lot because it's a thing that I'm good at. If you're interested in either of those things, please do subscribe too. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one of these.